And you wonder why you have a medial meniscus issue. Because every time he walks, twists the medial meniscus and tortures it. All because his head is turned ASRP. So this has to turn this way. And now the knee is facing sideways. And you're wondering, how are you going to help a knee with an atlas adjustment? Well, because I moved the head to center, and now this doesn't have to all contort itself down here. This gets to float in the center. This joint, you can see, has a very large range of motion, the acetabulum here. So if you have something, if you have head tilt up here, this can tilt like that. Again, to get, I'm exaggerating, but to get the head level. Nobody likes to walk down the mall like that. All the heads, if you go to the mall, stay on the second story, look down, you'll see all the heads are level. Well, they're level, if the head, even if the head's tilted, the body will tilt the lower body like that and get it straight. And now you wonder why his acetabulum is starting to wear out the top cartilage here. Because the femur is sitting on the cup, on the outside of the cup, down here. Can you picture that? So I tilt the head, let's say that way. Well, now the body's got to tilt the lower body that way to get it level. I'm exaggerating, but it does it in a small amount. And now you take 1,000 steps with your acetabulum being used on the outer rim. Where do you think the most cartilage is in the acetabulum? Right in the center, not on the cups, not on the lips, the labia. And everybody gets labial tears in the shoulders and the arm. The shoulders do the same thing. If the head's tilting this way, the torso has to tilt that way. Now the arms aren't even sitting in the center of the glenoid fossa. They're out here on the lip. It's sitting there out on the lip, wearing out the lip. So how does the neck affect the glenoid lip of the cartilage on the glenoid fossa, this is called the glenoid fossa. This is called the acetabulum. These are very similar joints, you can see. This one has almost no cupping. This one has a nice little cup the femur head can live in. And when you, again, tilt the head, the body will tilt the lower body like that. The head's level now. Doesn't have to fix the neck. It can leave the neck alone, leave it tilted, but it fixes the whole eye level thing, because the eyes, they call it, must be level with the horizon. And you have semicircular canals that live in your ears, right? You have 3 canals, one for each dimension. And those have liquid inside of them. And those are like balance beam liquids. And they have to be level. And the eyes have to be level. And that has to agree so you don't get vertigo. That's vertigo. When the tubes in the ear disagree with the eye level, you end up getting like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And that's what vertigo is. So if you have vertigo, get that atlas leveled out. And what do most chiropractors do? Because the neck's going to hurt at C5, because that's where it's bending the most. And C5 isn't the problem, because that's the area that's just making up for the tilt. But the atlas doesn't hurt because it's stuck. It's hardly moving at all. It looks brand new on the x-ray. I know that's a lot of information, but I go over it again and again and again until you guys get it. You don't need to be cracked a lot of times in the low back. That's where she's doing the most tilting to counter this. You don't need to be cracked at C5. Leave that alone. It's usually at the top and the bottom where it's stuck, and C5 is left there doing all the compensatory moves. And you'll wonder why C5 is always where patients come in, take a side view x-ray of Geophrey here, you'll find out the C5 vertebrae is just worn out. Why? Because it's the one that does the most accommodating of the head being tilted, a problem that usually happens. I think I do one on the bowling ball video, because the head is just like a bowling ball sitting on that condyle here at the top. So it's like a ball sitting inside of the condyle, and that condyle just has the head floating in those 2 cups, and that gets distorted and turned, and all of a sudden, if you don't get it soon enough, you can have a growth of one condyle flatter than the other, and that person will always have a left atlas, because it will glide this way on the skull. You see, because it hardened this way. The child fell at an early age, and now the condyles are crooked, and they hardened that way at ossification in the teens, 20s era. That was the area that this hardened. So you got to get the atlas aligned, especially in children. And do you think the people bring their children in here? No, they come in, they drag their children in. I say, your children are eating cereal and you're eating steak. If we fixed your child, they'll never have a back problem. They'll never know to thank me. One adjustment of an atlas at a child, and you'll fix that misalignment. And they'll never know that you just changed their whole life. That's happened thousands of times in my offices. And I don't know what to say. So, and of course we give the child a discount, maybe half price for the child, because it's not as important, it's just the child. It's actually the real reason you're here in God's eyes, because you already have a worn out neck and and your body needs help for pain. So you go in and get somebody to rub your neck, where it's sore, massage there, make it even looser. Make it even looser so it moves even more. And massage down here and make that even looser so it can wear out even more and get worse under chiropractic care or whatever other kind of care you're getting, because they keep on manipulating, loosening the areas that are hurting. And when you do that, it feels good. It feels good to have that hurting area rubbed. Oh, that feels good, Dr. Oh, that feels good. Crack, crack, crack. Well, you just made it worse because you cracked it and made it looser. And now up here where they breathe and hold their breath and it's stiff. How you feel up there, Mrs. Jones? I feel fine. Okay, we'll leave that alone. A lot of information in this video. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe. I'm worn out. God bless.